Okay, in the name of Lord Jesus Christ, we shall continue to study from the Ecclesiastes. So please do remember that though that I share with you about labor, I talk about my time when I was working. I do not deny the fact they are interesting things. Okay? They are things that's interesting in life. They are things that's interesting in your future career. They are interesting things. But the whole concept is that you should, you can enjoy those things. Yes, enjoy those things. But do not set those as your life goal. The problem is not about having a good career. The problem is not having a lot of fun at job. The problem is not be on a business trip and have the company pick up the bill of your enjoyment. There's nothing wrong with that. If the company think that you are worth it, then they will pay for it. Nothing wrong with that. Okay? So yes, you can enjoy eating and drinking under the sun. You can enjoy the labor under the sun as long as you do not deem this as the only purpose of life. So not only so you know that for the problem of Solomon is that he has all this, but then he connected only this way. It becomes his life goal. So it becomes eating and drinking becomes vanity. Building gardens, building vineyards, building palace, the achievement of the labor becomes vanity. Because when you go from here only toward this direction, means that you only look at under the sun. Everything that you care about is under the sun. Then you go from blessing to meaningless, to emptiness. If you have this, but you go this way, not only you enjoy the blessing under the sun, but you also acquire promising above the sun, then your life is good. This is where the problem. This is never the problem. This is never the problem. If I know church members who are very successful in their career. You chat with them, they eat good, they drink good. Every time when they go on business trip, they stay in Sheraton, in Hilton. Nothing wrong with that. Anything wrong with that? I don't see anything wrong with that. Having a good life, especially when your good life is paid by someone else, nothing wrong with that. You enjoy it. Enjoy it. But the thing is, make sure that that's not the only thing in your life. Okay, that's the only problem. The only problem is you go this way or you go this way. If you are always, you have to remember, all this are under the sun. That's where the problem is. When all your hope of life, when your pursuit of life, when everything is under the sun, it becomes evil. It becomes evil. That's where the problem is. It's not good life. It's not eating and drinking. Okay, so get that correct. It is all right if you have a good job. If it's all right that that you are able to afford a better living, there's nothing wrong with that, as long as you make sure that that's not the only thing in your life. Okay. All right. So let's continue to talk about blessing. For this class, we'll go from here to here. Okay. We talk about eating and drinking. Eating and drinking. You found this commonly repeat. I don't know what's Solomon's obsession about eating and drinking. Usually you become extremely obsessed on something when you cannot have it. Right? Usually when you are not allowed to have something, then you really want it. When you are able to freely take it, then you don't cherish it. So I don't know what Solomon's obsession about eating and drinking. Given that he was old. And giving that, he said, whatever my eyes desire, I do not forbid myself from taking it. So perhaps, eat and drink when he was young, eat and drink to his full. And when he was old, he can look, but he cannot eat. He eat, he die. Those kind of things. So maybe when he was old, at this time, eating and drinking becomes a dream. He can afford it, but he cannot eat it. So eating and drinking, able to enjoy the labor. Shall we say able to enjoy the good from the labor? Labor is good. Your income, you bring home, you get to enjoy it. You buy a house, you buy a car, you enjoy it. That's fine. Able to do charities. 讲说手心向下 is better for your hand to face down than face up. Facing down means you are given. Facing up means that you are pleading, you are begging. So you can choose. You can choose. When you are able to give, that means you have sufficient. That means you are able to do it. So it's better for you to be able to afford good deeds than depending on people's mercy, reaching out for help. So able to help itself is a blessing from the Lord. All right, let's go back to Ecclesiastes chapter 3. Let's go backtrack a little bit. Backtrack a little bit. In 22, so I perceive that nothing is better than the man that enjoy his own work. A little bit different, huh? Enjoy the work. Okay? In here, there are differences. Here, you enjoy the good. You get to enjoy the result, the good of your labor. Okay? Just like after you work and you get paid, you use the money to buy things that you like. Okay? So people say, no, the money never disappeared. It just exists in a different form, in a form that you like more. Okay? So in the past 2 years, I got into a very bad hobby. That I start buying like Gangdan, Gangpura, building the plastic models. It was all for my son. Okay, it was all for my son. Yeah, though that's a bottomless pit. That's a bottomless pit. Yeah, so 他们讲说钱不是万能的，钱是万代的。万代 Bandai, that's a company who produced the model. Okay, yeah. But anyway, so you enjoy the result. You enjoy the result. But in here it's a little bit different. This is even better. You enjoy what you do. Not everybody can find a job that they enjoy. Sometimes most people, they just do it because they have to, because it pays the bill. So able to find a job that you found, that you love, itself is a blessing. Because the job itself is no longer a burden, because it's something that you enjoy doing. Unfortunately, most of the people, they do not get to do that. Most people, they do it because it pays the bill. That's how you survive. That's the only job you know how to do. Or that's a job that you found. Yeah. In Australia, things are different than the United States. I was talking to my brother-in-law. My wife was from Australia. My brother-in-law told me that when they graduate, the government tell you, young men, do not be in a haste to find a job. Take your time. Don't worry. We pay you. It was pretty good. I think it took like almost 2 years plus for my brother-in-law to find a job, to land on a job. And meanwhile, during that 2+ years, the government give him money, provide him money for living every month. The concept is, the government say, make sure that you find something that you enjoy to do. I was like, man, what's wrong with America? Yeah, you know what their concept is that if you land on a job that you don't like, most likely young people, you will hop. And every time when you change job, it's an incurring cost for the company and for the society. So might as well take your time until you find something that you enjoy. And once you get into the job, you do many, many years. Which is true. Every time when you swap, when you change job, when you hop, it's an incurring cost. The company train you, it costs money. Now they have to look for another person, it costs money. Like everything is a social cost. There's a cost. And so their concept is we pay you until you find something that you like. So yeah, it took him more than 2 years that living under government program until he landed on the job that he enjoyed. I like that. I think that's but no, you don't get to do that. So able to enjoy the job, that your work is not just a work. It's not only I do every morning, just waking up, life is gloomy. Thinking about going to office is tough. Thinking about my colleagues, oh, I hate them. You know what? If your days are like that, yeah, no, that's not a blessing. Able to do something that you like, enjoy in the process itself is a blessing under the sun. It's a blessing. Okay? So now Solomon was telling you all this. Just tell you that, no, they are values. They are values under the sun. Let's look at another one. There are several of them. Okay, let's look at another one. If you look at chapter 5. Chapter 5. In chapter 5, verse 19. As for every man to whom God has given riches and wealth, and give him power to eat of it. Pay attention to power to eat of it. To receive his heritage and rejoice in his labor. Again, rejoice in the labor. That this is the gift of God. Okay, so it's a repetitive. Again, he repeated himself. But now there's one additional thing in verse 20. For he will not dwell unduly on the days of his life, because God keeps him busy with the joy of his heart. Okay? So now we found another blessing. Worry. Worry-free. Okay? For that, you go back to chapter 1. In chapter 1, we say what? Increasing knowledge, increasing sorrow, right? When you know too much, or you think too much, then life becomes very negative. Okay? So sometimes people, again, Solomon is not telling you do not plan for the future, but there are people who are occupied, or obsessed in worry. And the result is what? Depression. They a lot of mental illness occur because you worry too much. Okay? Before you graduate, you worry if you will ever graduate. And then you start create scenario in your mind. No, I will fail the class. Then my teacher will flunk me from the class. I will be kicked out of the major. My parents will be so disappointed at me. I will not be able to find a job. I will become a bum in the house. I will end up as a homeless on the street. My life is devastated. I have no future, no use, no value. And then you jump off the building. I mean, are there people like that? Yes. They are fully controlled by emotion. They are occupied by fear and worry. They are unable to break through with the negativity of the mind. There are people like that. So before you graduate, you worry about you will you fail one test, it ruin your entire life. And then you get distressed, and then eventually you have like the mental issue. There are so many people. There are more and more people like that nowadays. Finally, you graduate, and then you start worry you won't be able to find a job because so many people cannot find a job, and then you just feel that you will be one of them. You will send out 1,000 resume and 0 reply. You send out 2,000 resume with 1 interview and you flunk the interview. You will be like creating all those scenarios of negativity in your mind. And then again, you jump off the building. Yeah, but anyway, you always end it with jumping off the building or jumping off the rail track. Yeah. There are many people like that. Why? Because their heart was so heavy. They have so much fear that they're unable to overcome. You know what? Our generation, that's why you hear that suicide here and there. Even United States, the suicide rate is not low, especially in Asia. Taiwan, Hong Kong, I think right now Korea has the highest, in Asia country, Korea has the highest suicide rate. It used to be Japan. It used to be because social pressure. So China, we don't know because they never share the information. Yeah, yeah. They only tell you they disappeared. Yeah, but I'm telling you that nowadays, every generation it gets harder and harder. Life becomes tougher and tougher. Not environment, but mental. Mental health become a very, very big thing nowadays. You probably know that in Taiwan, the government openly invite religion to enter school. That's why we have the vineyard. You probably know that in Taiwan, our church exists in many junior high and high school, in forms of vineyard, in the name, in forms of vineyard campus fellowship. And yeah, the government, it was an open invitation by the government. Why? Because there was a period of time that the suicide rate from the students just soared. Because the parents are busy making money. The student doesn't know what's the meaning of life. So you know that they actually invite each other for suicide. I'm not sure if you learned about this or heard about this. In Japan, you have a whole bunch of girls, like junior high school girls dressed in school uniform, holding hands and singing, and just singing, 1, 2, 3. And when the train comes, everybody jump at the same time. And they all die. There were more and more cases like this. Like they sing and they were laughing and they jump the building, holding hands, because they don't know. They don't know what's the point of all this. They worry that they will not succeed in the society. They are afraid they might not be able to satisfy the expectation of their parents. Nowadays, there are just so much mental issue, mental distress. So able to live a worry-free life. In here says that they do not think too much. They don't. They enjoy day by day. Please, again, don't take it and justify it for yourself. Say, see, I don't plan for the future. See, I don't worry about the final. See, I don't study. No, that's not what it says. Again, we call that laziness because you are not doing your share of duty. You are not doing your due diligence. Okay? What we are saying is, you think about the future, you worry about your test, but you don't get crushed by it. That's where that's where the difference is. And for that, quite often you need to link to above the sun. But we will talk about that later. So able to live a worry-free life is a blessing in itself. And for you and I, a lot of times, in order for you to live worry-free, you must have God involved. You must have God involved. That's why in chapter 5, because this is in chapter 5, you see that there's an additional thing in chapter 5. In chapter 5 is the beginning of introduction of God, the concept of God. Even in chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, it says that, oh, it is good that God give you this, God give you that. But in chapter 5, in the beginning, it begins by saying, when you come to the house of the Lord. This is the official beginning to invite the concept of God into your life. Okay? It begins by when you come to the house of the Lord. Then, at the end, it says that it's blessing that you don't need to worry about your life. So, not worry is connected to knowing that God is there for you when you are in the sanctuary of God. Okay? So the whole the turning point of Ecclesiastes begins in chapter 5 because it starts to introduce God into your life. Okay? So again, please do not take this and say, I'm going to live worry-free. Who cares about final tomorrow? No, that's not what it says. You say that just because you are lazy. You say that just because you are irresponsible. Just like the youth say, oh, God is coming. Second coming is soon. Why study? Why work? I just sit at home, do nothing, play video game, wait for my parents to feed me, provide for me. That's never the concept of the Bible. Okay? You should never, that's only a self-justified excuse. Okay? So, one more, then we will go on to the... Okay, let's go to chapter... let's go to chapter... let's see. The blessing. Go to chapter 6. Okay, 不是 chapter 6. Hold on. Chapter 9. Okay, let's go to chapter 9. There's one more, also a crucial one. Chapter 9, verse 7. Go eat your bread and eat your bread with joy and drink your wine with merry heart, for God has already accepted your works. Let your garment always be white, and let your head lack no oil. Verse 9. Live joyfully with the wife whom you love, all the days of your vain life, which he has given you under the sun, all the days of vanity which you perform. For that is your portion in life, and in the labor which you perform under the sun. Okay, so in here, again, under the sun. Again, it tells you what is the value. In the eyes of the Lord, able to eat and drink is a blessing. Enjoy the good of your labor is a blessing. And then able to have sufficient and share with others is a blessing. Able to find something and do something you enjoy is a blessing. Do not live in fear and worry. That's a blessing. And then love. Family. Yesterday we talked about if your life, no one share with you, no one cares about you, then yes, it's a living hell. Living hell. I know that for your age, you probably have a lot of fantasy about your future family, about your spouse, your wife, your husband. For girls, you want, where is my tour guy? Oh, he's not here. He tour guy in PMVP, huh? Okay. All right. So perhaps nowadays, for girl, who said that? Pastor Huang. For girls, for guys, you are looking for 白富美嘛, huh? 白富美, the skin, good skin, full of Collagen. Why am I keep on saying gelatin? Gelatin is for cooking. Yeah, I use a lot of gelatin when I make a cheesecake. Yeah. So, yeah, because it's spongy, right? So when I see girl, oh, a lot of gelatin. A lot of collagen. Yeah. So you know what, for guys, you are looking for now, 白富美, good skin, successful, well-to-do. You marry her, it save you 10 years of hard work, something like that. 白富美, and it must be good looking. For the girls, 高富帅. It must be tall. It must be good looking. I don't know which one goes first, rich or good looking. But anyway. You know what, in your time, at your age, it is very, there's nothing wrong when you want someone good looking. Just like today, you try very hard maybe to make yourself look good, so that you are able to attract more attention from opposite gender. We are not in here to judge you. We are not in here to criticize you. We just want to impart some of the life wisdom. If the only thing that connects you with the other person is your look, you are in big trouble. You are in big trouble because people change. If the only thing that the person like you is because how you look, yeah, you might change. If the only thing you like the other person is how they look, how he look, the person changed too. Look at the celebrity. When the celebrity is at their 20s versus at their 60s, do they look the same? They don't. They don't. And that's why you find them always on the journey of finding love and divorce. Because all the relationship is mostly built upon outer appearance. So if you look at girl, oh, so beautiful, but with a lot of makeups, right? Yeah. So after you marry, the first day you will go, whoa! Who are you? Yeah. Yeah, you know that I don't know who said that God create woman a face and woman made themselves another one. Yeah. So again, I'm not against makeup. That's your choice. Like my mother doesn't use it, my sister doesn't use it, my wife doesn't use it. I don't use it. Yeah. What I'm saying is, it's your choice. Sometimes a little makeup is only courtesy. Oh, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. But when you are trying very hard to please someone, if this is the only thing that you have, or this is the only thing that the other person cares, what happens when reality kicks in? Okay, when you remove all the makeup, what happens? Or maybe you are born beauty, but what happens if you change along the way? So if the relationship is only built upon look, when look change, then relationship exists no more. Same thing for boys, same thing for girls. So love is not about look. Family is not about beauty. It's always about sharing of the heart. It's someone you know that knows you, care about you. So you know what, after you marry for a while, like I married for 15 years, a lot of times for spouse, we don't really need to say it out loud. You just just turn around and look, and the other person knows what you want or what you are trying to say. It's very interesting. That is like an extension of yourself. Extension of your hand, extension of your life. It's just very interesting. Yeah, but so if for the future, you are too young to think about it. In a few years, you are now in second year in college. According to Pastor Huang, you can start thinking about it and look at the fall. So you got 2 more years. 2 more years to start thinking about it. Okay? But just to let you know, in here, the Lord said, the greatest blessing is that you get to share with the one that loves you. In your life, you have one that you love and the one that loves you. That's the greatest blessing. We do not like to share because people tend to be selfish. Like, if you start earning money, would you go and find your best friend and say, I'll give you half of my income? No! You don't do that. The best you will do is, celebration, my first paycheck. I will buy you a Starbucks. That's about how far it will go. Yeah. I mean, that's for boys. Maybe for girls, I don't know. Maybe you will do a bit more. Like, I will treat you a meal. For guys, we don't. $5.75 is the farthest we will go. Okay? I mean, it is for me. Again, I don't know about you. For me, friendship is not very, yeah. It's just me. Okay? So the sharing is against our nature instinct. We don't. Because when we share, we have less. Okay? So people tend to hold, like we tend to hold for ourselves until this. Parents, out of love, they themselves can suffer, but they want the best for their kids. I can be extremely frugal, cheap on myself, but whatever my wife wants, I try to attend for her. That's what we do. Why? Because able to share with the one that you love itself is beautiful. It's a great blessing. So in your future relationship, you have to be very careful because the person might be tall and handsome and wealthy. Doesn't mean that he wants to share his wealth with you. All right? My money, your money. Spend your own money. Then what's the point of him being tall and handsome? He could be tall and handsome and rich and cruel. You want, seriously, in your future marriage, it's not about who makes money. It's not about spending whose money. Like, you know what? For 15 years, my wife never worked. Never. And her plan of life, once I asked her, what is your ambition of life? She said that her ambition is that she's going to spend her entire life not working. I was like, good for you. Try. I will help you. So you know what? For 15 years, you never work. I'm the only bread provider in the house, but I never feel just because I put the bread on the table that gave me any leverage over her. I never tell her, hey, but I am the one that brings the money. No. If let me tell you that if that's a relationship, that's pathetic. Family, you don't talk about who makes money. You don't talk about ownership. You don't dominate over the other person. Hey, because I make money and you don't. You know what? Nowadays, in a lot of marriages, they have problems because of this. They claim yours. Okay? I make money, I pay for the house, so you better show some gratitude. That's pathetic. That's not marriage. At least I don't see family in there. So for 15 years, I never feel I am in any position to power over my wife just because I provide. I provide because I should. I provide because this is my family. I provide because she's my wife. Naturally, I should do whatever I can to provide for her and also for the kids. I don't feel dominating. Not that I don't feel. I am not. I don't get to. I think I'm only above the dog in the house. Yeah. However, that's my family. Do I feel bad? Do I feel sad? No. No. Family is about sharing. Family is about love. Family is about sacrifice. I provide for my wife. I'm glad I can provide for my wife. I have my kids bully over me. I enjoy to be bullied by my daughter. Yeah. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? That's family. So in the future, when you find someone, Make sure that you don't find someone that's very selfish. Otherwise, your marriage will be a living hell. My personal advice. Okay? So, do you know what? A great blessing is someone who can fully open and they share their life with you. That's the best bet for blessing under the sun. Okay? Be smart. Don't just go for the look. Don't just go for the look. If you only go for the look, you will be disappointed for the rest of your life. Guarantee you that. Again, there are people who are both beautiful outside and beautiful inside. Sure, go for it. Yeah. Don't. Is that Pastor Huang in the 1 Corinthians class? Don't aim for 100. Don't aim for those. Why? Very simple. Because you are not 100. There was a father walking the daughter down the aisle. A father taking the daughter walking down the aisle, but before he gave the hand to the groom, he said to the groom that, I'm very happy to be here. He said to the groom, please understand, my daughter has her weaknesses. He said that as her father, I know she has some shortcomings, she has some weaknesses. Thank you for bearing with her. She is not perfect. And then the father said, she is not perfect. Neither are you. If she is perfect, you won't be the one standing here. I think that's a very wise saying. I shall copy that and give that speech in my daughter's wedding. Yeah. Before I break his leg. Yeah. But anyway, I don't want to think about it. Yeah, for me, it's traumatized. Yeah. Yeah, so you know what? Marriage. I know that you are thinking about marriage, future, fantasy. Marriage is never about look. I'm not telling you to find someone that scary. No. I'm telling you, do not focus only upon the look. Because people change. Okay? Having someone who are able to feel you. Someone with temperature. Someone who feels you. Someone who think for you. Think about you. Consideration. Caring. Okay? Those who... I told the sister that if you are able to find a brother, in order to provide for you, he will do 3 jobs just in order to provide for you. He will sell his liver. Okay, you sell liver? No, not liver. Kidney. Sorry. No, we keep the liver. You can sell the kidney because you got 2. Okay, yeah. So you know what? If you find someone who will go the extra mile just for you, that should be the one. And of course, do not abuse that. Just because he would, you do not spend lavishly just so that he get to sell his kidney. You do not abuse that relationship. It takes both. One, full sacrifice. The other, understanding and cherish. Then you will have a beautiful family. Okay? All right, so all these are under the sun. Again, all these are worldly value, worldly treasure. Thank God you are able to eat and drink. Thank God you have a job. Thank God you are able to give. Thank God that you like what you do. Thank God that you don't have to go into mental distress. Thank God you have someone who cares for you. Right now, not your spouse because you are too young for that, but thank God for your parents. Okay? All right, all these are under the sun. But as we mentioned, from chapter 5, we enter into a different stage. Chapter 5, it begins by introducing God into the picture. Okay? We still have 8 minutes, right? No? Until 30? 30, right? See? I remember. Okay. So you know what? Now we want to touch about above the sun. Above the sun. We spend all this time talking about under the sun. They are evil that make you feel that your life is meaningless. They are good that you should pursue and cherish. However, All the blessing under the sun, only, you know, the earlier diagram, right? Remember, right? In the center, the so-called blessing under the sun depends on which way that you go. Depends on which way that you go. You live in this world, but you do not belong to this world, and all these are blessing. Okay? You live on earth, enjoy whatever God provides, but you live on earth having the eternal hope, then that's a blessing. It's a blessed life. You live in this world, but you only care, or you only own the things of the world, then it becomes what? It becomes a curse. This is the life of Solomon. Life of Solomon, he has all this, but the problem is he went this way. He went this way, so it became a curse. Okay. Now, if we want to talk about life above the sun, now we need to talk about something eternal. It all begins from chapter 5, when you first introduce the concept of God into your life. Okay, let's, okay, so we have blessing under the sun. And from that, we have a transition to blessing above the sun. So what is this transition? The transition is in chapter 5. Transition in chapter 5. Let's go to chapter 5. How come P and VP are here? Oh, I thought it's 30. Okay, you know what? We have one more class. So I will, for sure, get to chapter 12. Yeah, I know. I skip all the way from chapter 4 all the way to 12. Yeah. All right, so the... Hey, có打勾嘛？有打勾嘛？没有。没有，有，没有。没有打勾。Okay. All right, so we'll wrap it up in the afternoon. That's all. Praise silence.